Hi, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Today is going to be a very interesting live stream. My friend Zal is here. He is currently going out and getting food. Hopefully, he'll be right back. And also, Jamie, I wasn't late. I said that we were going to be starting at 7:29, and we did. Also, now that I can see myself in the background, because I have a little split screen situation going on. I love how I started off 5 seconds just straight up smiling at the camera. You love to see it. So today I'm interviewing my friend Zal. Zal is currently out grabbing food. Hopefully, I hope that he's able to get his food right now and that he won't have to just yeet himself from the interview for a little bit. So
They're not here yet.
You hate to see it. I was just introducing myself to all the friends. Everyone here knows who I am, but I would love for you to introduce yourself.
I, of course, am Zalrok Chaos. And
Yeah.
I live stream on Twitch. I upload those VODs to YouTube. And I do occasionally sometimes make videos, interview people, play video games on occasion when I'm not tired as heck. And
Yeah.
I also do the Twitter thing, and I also DM this guy's D&D. I was pointing the wrong way, but
It's fine. Actually, I think you might have been pointing the right way on YouTube, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, you do have your first user-submitted question today. What food are you ordering, Zal? Also, hey, Jessica.
I'm getting donair with fries and a drink.
Nice. I ordered pizza today, and I actually had it delivered to my apartment because it was raining. And I do not. Some people here who know me well know that I am not someone who does rain well. So if it's raining, I'll usually be more inclined to just stay inside.
I love rain. I just don't like torrential rain.
So it's not like torrentially pouring over here. I don't know what it's like over in other parts of North Carolina. And usually people who watch my channel aren't from North Carolina, but there's an exception today, which is really interesting. But yeah.
Also, Jamie, you can't have my food because I'm starving. And I need it to not do the starve. I don't like.
I only had dinner like 45 minutes ago, so I completely feel that. I was starving before I had dinner. I don't remember if I had anything to eat today aside from dinner, which is not usually the case. But yeah, so I actually wanted to start off today's interview by talking a little bit about how we met. I actually don't remember how we met all that well. I remember that we knew each other a little bit before Chaotic Roll started, but the main times that we started interacting was Chaotic Roll Season 1. And for those of you who don't know, Chaotic Roll is the main D&D campaign that I've been a part of, for almost 2 years now. It's been a surprisingly long time since Chaotic Roll started.
Hey, and I remember I called the Chaotic Roll because I'm Zalrok Chaos and I roll dice. That's how I interpreted it. There was no real reason why it's called Chaotic Roll, other than to differentiate it from Critical Role and other stuff. But yes.
So Chaotic Roll Season 1 and a good portion of Season 2 were largely unplanned in the sense that instead of us working on encounters or whatever ahead of time, we usually just let it be up to the dice, which is a very interesting philosophy when it comes to D&D. Zal would roll up encounters, and sometimes those encounters would be very disastrous, like the first encounter where we fought, I think it was 8 orcs.
That was
level 1.
7 orcs.
7.
Because it was, as far as I remember, for those encounters, I did type it up on like a sheet that it was like 2d4 plus 1. You guys unfortunately got the 7.
It was a very dangerous encounter, and it actually ended with one of our people being knocked unconscious, which
and
wasn't great.
and falling from a height because they were flying, and they possibly would have died from that if I didn't go. Okay, because you're an Aarakocra, you have the slow fall and you don't instantly die. So congratulations. But they did leave the campaign slightly after that. So I was just like, all right, your character isn't dead. You're just a hireling.
So the way that campaign ended up working a lot of the time was that people would come and join. They would be in a single session or two, and then they would just leave. It was really funny.
Yeah, and they would be hirelings that you guys could have hired, but didn't.
It's okay. Our main core group, which by the end of the first season, the only people who made it all the way through the session from start to finish were the two most diametrically opposed people in the campaign. It was Callan and myself, which was very interesting energy to bring from the start of the campaign all the way to the end.
I mean, there's also Drag. Isith also left because I have to go.
Yeah. I'll tell stories while Zal has gone. Zal and I have actually known each other for over 2 years. The first time that I remember us interacting was when I was in my first ever live streamed D&D campaign, which I did with the YouTubers Godless Cranium, Essence of Thought, Aided Furball, and a few other people, including a named Dragon and Essence of Thought's girlfriend. And that was a very interesting campaign, just because it's supposed to be a starter campaign for people who've never played D&D. It's called Lost Minds of Phandelver, and it features 2 potentially deadly encounters, which is really weird for campaigns that are for beginners who've never played D&D. And one of the very deadly encounters happens at the very beginning of the thing, which is not fun. Hey, Zal, I'm glad you were able to get food. Zal will be back on in the audio in like 2 seconds. I hope everyone's having a good night. Hey, Zal.
Hello. I am back.
I was regaling the audience with stories from the Lost Mines of Phandelver, which was a whole campaign.
I believe I was like in there for like the last session.
Yeah. Aided was also in it for like 2 or 3 sessions. There were a bunch of people who were on it.
I believe I was like a Gith Yank guy. Life cleric? I don't remember.
We were also in the one-shots, which was super interesting. We were in GC's one-shots together, which were super deadly.
Yeah, I remember those, because GC likes to kill people. Even though
he does not like to kill people. You like to kill people. GC is super chill about it, and then if you die, you die. It'd be like that sometimes.
I kind of sometimes don't like. Here's the thing: I like homebrewing campaigns. I don't like any of the modules or published one shots because either they're underwhelming or overwhelming. And I just don't like that for me.
Yeah, I feel like the 5e campaigns and one-shots aren't really that great, which is weird, because like 3.5 had some really solid adventures, and 4th edition, for all of the shit that people like to give 4th edition, there were some interesting adventures. There was like a version of Ravenloft, that was, not Ravenloft, the Strahd one. The one with the vampire guy, Curse of Strahd. That's what it is, Curse of Strahd. There was a version of that in 4th edition that was actually super interesting. It was weird. I personally wasn't a big fan of the 4th edition version of it, but it was neat. And I think that like 4th edition was better than a lot of people give it credit for. It definitely wasn't good, but D&D guys, just
Wasn't it, and this is just from videos I saw, wasn't it like restrictive on multi-classing?
Yeah, it
was it really synergistic?
Fighting also took like forever. It was one of the really weird things. This becomes a problem at like high level 5th edition play too, but like with 4th edition, it's from the very start because they have like a whole bunch of like things that recharge every few turns. They have the bloodied condition, which I actually really like, but the way they did it was really dumb, which is really frustrating.
I think 5e should have bloodied, but no, better than what they had before, because that was bad. Then again, I don't know what the bloodied condition is. So
the bloodied condition is a condition that activates when you get down to less than half health. It's kind of like injuries, but in some cases it auto recharges all of your abilities, which can be really annoying. If you're fighting a dragon in 4th edition and you knock it down to less than half HP, they regain all of like their breath weapons and everything, which is potentially like a party killer. It's just really frustrating. But yeah, just so we don't talk about D&D the whole time, because not everyone here is super familiar with D&D, although most people are, because a lot of people here have played D&D with us, like with me and you specifically. But
yes.
What other games are you super into?
I could look through my Steam library and tell you.
I know a game that you and I have in common is Overlord, which is probably my favorite RPG of all time.
I love Overlord. You can either nerf yourself by not murdering anyone, or kill everybody and get really powerful. I also like the second game.
Mm-hmm.
I
know
the I believe it was Raising Hell that had an annoying puzzle.
Yeah.
You know, that had one where you had to mow the lawns. That annoyed me to no end, especially on console. But outside of that, I never played any of the spin-off games because I didn't have a Wii or anything at the time.
The spin-off games were actually really fun. I've played to completion every single Overlord game except for Fellowship of Evil, which is the newest one. That's not even really an Overlord game. It's like technically the 3rd Overlord game. It's a mainline game, which is really weird, but it's the one where you control like 4 people and they're all like different and they have different traits and things.
Apparently it's really bad game. So I don't really want to buy it.
I played a good portion of it, and I wouldn't say that it's a bad game, but it's definitely not Overlord. Even Overlord Minions, which was the one for the Nintendo DS, was definitely an Overlord game. There was like minions and stuff, which are technically in Fellowship of Evil, but the way that Fellowship of Evil looks and plays is just too different. It's kind of like that Minecraft Dungeons game where it's like a top-down adventure thing. Yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons is basically just their take on Diablo.
Yep.
And other games like that. And I think Diablo 3 is bad and Path of Exile is better. But that's just me.
I actually haven't played Minecraft Dungeons. I've considered buying it. I don't really feel like spending money on something that I don't think would look that fun. I really like Minecraft, which surprises a lot of people. Not everyone who knows me well knows that I play Minecraft. I don't like the adventuring, I just like building things. So I just play in creative.
That's the opposite of me. I like survival mechanics that make sense and aren't bad, which is why after playing a lot of Fallout games, part of me's like, these mechanics don't make any sense, especially in Fallout 3 or 4.
I really like Fallout 4. I really like most of the Fallout games. I haven't played Fallout 2 or the original Fallout, but I played Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4, and I've seen bits and pieces of the RPG, which actually look really interesting. I don't know if that many people know that there was like a little Fallout RPG thing, including a canceled one. If you don't know that, I actually recommend checking it out. You can read all about it on the Fallout Wiki.
I do know about that. Van Buren, yeah.
Yeah. The first time I ever actually played Fallout 3 was at a friend's birthday party, and it was just like my friend. I was in the ninth grade, and my friend was like, "Hey, you guys want to play the super scary horror game?" And then he started playing Fallout 3, and I was very disappointed. It was a fun game, but he was just like, "You guys, it's such a super scary horror game," and it wasn't. But we were like 8th or 9th graders, so it makes sense that was something that was super scary to us. So Jamie just asked me if I'm interested in a game like Dreams. I really like games like Dreams that let you like create things. I had RPG Maker 3 when I was younger, the one that came out for like the PlayStation 2, and I put probably over 1,500 hours into that game because I just really like creating things, which is a really constant habit I have in pretty much anything that I play that lets you build stuff.
Speaking of war games, I like Skyrim,
Nice.
Oblivion. In fact, Oblivion was actually one of the first The Elder Scrolls games I ever played and beaten. Yes. Outside of the DLCs, yeah, with the DLCs too. And it was like, no, this is great. I love it. But the downside of all Bethesda games is the fact you have to mod them to fix them, which I'm not a huge fan of anymore. It's like Bethesda, you're a fucking you're a corporation. Fix your fucking games. That's my heart. That's my hard opinion of
that. So the first game I ever got for the Xbox 360 was Overlord, because that was when I was in my edgy like teenager phase. So I saw Overlord and I was just like, hell yeah, this is a game that lets me be evil. I'm super down for this. The second game that I ever got was Oblivion, but I got the like super remastered edition of Oblivion, which had like all the DLC and all that super fun stuff. And I really liked it. I had never ever heard of the Elder Scrolls up until Oblivion because I was raised in Latin America. And for some reason in Latin America, Skyrim did like almost supernaturally well, but Oblivion was just not a very popular game. So I didn't hear about Oblivion, but I did hear about Skyrim.
Overlord is a game that I like because it has a good villain, which is you, and we need more. What's the word? More good villains in video games.
I definitely agree.
Also, more good villains in movies. Incompetent villains make us all sad.
So apparently Resident Evil 5 is racist, but I've never played any of the Resident Evil games. I think that's probably the one like super popular franchise that I've never even touched one of their games.
I haven't played them, and I almost supernaturally refuse to watch them because I have terrible nightmares when I watch those games or any other type of media with zombies or anything of the sort. So I just go, no. I have terrible nightmares. A lot of the time. So it's like, no.
When I was younger, when I was a little kid, I had like horrifying nightmares to the point that people wondered if I had night terrors. And it's really weird because even as a little kid, I really liked horror things. So like I was always super into the horror aesthetic. I always thought zombies were really cool, aside from Resident Evil zombies, which I never got into. I thought the movies were kind of neat just because I like the idea of like there being a zombie apocalypse and then there also being like a superhero who has the same disease, which for those of you who don't know anything about the premise of the Resident Evil movies, that's the basic premise of it. If someone here is like a big fan of the movies, which I highly doubt, they can probably explain it better than I can. But the main character has like a variant of the disease that keeps her from being made into like a zombie, and she also has like super strength and a bunch of really dumb superpowers just because. I never understood why the movies were so different from the games though. I'm sure there's like a real explanation, I just didn't know what it is. Did you ever get into the Mario games?
I played Super Mario Sunshine. That was about it. Never finished.
That's like, in my opinion, I have a surprisingly edgy opinion when it comes to like the Super Mario games. I think Super Mario Sunshine is probably the best Super Mario game, and I am not a big fan of the 2D Marios. I actually don't mind the 2D Marios. I think they're fine. I just like I'm not super into them, which is apparently a very controversial opinion among people who are in like the Mario fandom.
In my personal opinion, I don't really listen to a lot of established fans or fandoms, which is why I'm mixing up Elder Scrolls into my D&D campaign, because I don't give a damn about lore purity or anything of the sort.
I think that that's like a fine opinion. Also, I know a lot of people who mix D&D and like the Elder Scrolls. I feel like of all of the like really big RPGs, the Elder Scrolls is probably the one that gets mixed the most into D&D, like super easily. I've played in different D&D campaigns where people have done Elder Scrolls things, even if they didn't do what we're doing, which is like where there's blessings and like there's artifacts, but like there are Elder Scroll enemies in other D&D campaigns.
I mean, after playing the Elder Scrolls for Skyrim and Oblivion mostly, I find the lack of concentration elemental spells in D&D to be really bad. There's only like Witch Bolt or like electrical concentration spell, which in D&D terms is a cantrip, because Sparks is a concentration elemental spell in Skyrim for like that any first level beginning caster can get. And yet that's a first level spell, Witch Bolt in D&D. Which is why if I do like any of the Atronachs in our game, we're going to have a version of Witch Bolt, but for their different elements.
Yeah. So like something that we're doing in our D&D campaign. Also, if you guys aren't watching our D&D campaign, you should. We stream every other Sunday, and it is on Twitch. It's over on Zal's Twitch, which is a good opportunity for me to say. All of Zal's links are in the description. So if you want to check Zal's stuff out, if you are a friend of mine and you are new to the channel, there are a few people here who are in the comments in the live chat for the first time ever, and you are like on Twitter or you're on Twitch, definitely check Zal out. I'm in a lot of Zal's things, but not all of Zal's things. So if you like me as well, you'll also see a lot of me in there. As well as Tria, Drag. I think all of the people who are in Season 2 except for Callan are here right now. I'm pretty sure that everyone except for Callan's here.
Also, Drag, I do know about this pop-up spell expansion for Skyrim, because that's the second addiction of Skyrim, modding the heck out of it, which I have done multiple times.
So Tria says that it's not up on the description, but I know that some people who were here waiting for a while. I only put the links in around 7 my time, so around 5 Zal's time. If you were here before then, you might just have to refresh.
Yeah, because it was there when I looked at it. So
yeah.
Also, speaking, we were talking about the games I like,
Yeah.
and so I will say I like games like, say, Elder Scrolls Online sometimes. I get bored of MMOs really quickly, so especially when I'm one of those people who likes playing the single player. So there's that. I like games like Fallout, Frostpunk. I played that on my channel. Graveyard Keeper, Grim Dawn. I like survival city builders like Frostpunk and lots of other RPGs like The Witcher, Star Wars, Knight KOTOR. Even just city builders like, say, Surviving Mars or just puzzle RPGs. So I just like the games. I'm easily bored sometimes because my brain is hyperactive as heck, and so I play games. Or just factory
understand that.
or factory builders like Satisfactory that's been in early access for a while now.
So what do you think of Satisfactory? Because I was actually thinking about getting it, and I saw the other day when we were on Callan's thing before Callan's campaign got all glitchy. You were tweeting about it. I considered getting it. I really want to get it, but it's like $30, and I need to hear like what a friend thinks before I actually buy it.
If you hate math, you're going to hate it.
Oh, okay. Dang it.
Because for like a lot of early, mid, and late game stuff, you're going to need like highly efficient. I said I'm easily bored, Jamie. I never said I'm easily bored.
Just so you know, there's been like persistent. I don't know if anyone else can hear this. I'm gonna assume other people probably can. There has been a pretty persistent static that for some reason went haywire for 2 seconds just now and is now almost completely gone. It was really loud in my headphones, and I don't know if it was just my headphones, but it was like deafening, and now it's gone. And I'm happy it's gone, but it's weird.
I have zero ideas. That could have been a fan or just one of the tenants in this house doing things. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you need like highly efficient factories, and there's like conveyor belts and stuff to move things around, and ratios and math, which is why if you don't like math, don't play the game.
That's frustrating for me because I saw like a whole bunch of people who are like let's playing it, and I was like, this looks like a really good game. And also I really like idle games, so like games that are like factory builders are really good for me. Even if there's like a component of it that's really active that like you have to do stuff. I genuinely love idle games. It's probably the like biggest problem I have as like a gamer. What kind of burger are you having? Banky wants to know.
It's a donair, Bankai. It's a fucking donair.
Other people are hungry too. I feel like this is dinner time for most of our peeps except for like Jamie and Shy, who live on like the West Coast.
It's almost like it's almost 6 o'clock for me, and I'm starving.
I mean, for some peeps, especially peeps like Tria and I, and a few other people who are here, it's currently almost 8. I actually thought about doing the interview a little bit later than this, but I always do interviews at like 8, and I didn't feel like doing that today. So I thought I would start a little bit earlier than 8.
That's fair. I like that. And again, I like... Speaking of streaming or interviews, I like doing that around 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like having the ability to go and get food, go shopping, have a shower, not be tired as all heck, sometimes have coffee before I stream. It's a thing I do. Other times I don't do it. Or I just play video games all day. And
hey, there are definitely days when I do that. So I saw a question that I've been mulling over in my head just because I know that no matter what your answer is, I'm going to be getting feedback about it later. Jessica asked, what do you think of Roblox? Have you ever played Roblox?
no. All I know is that it's like Legos, but a video game, and not affiliated by Legos.
It's kind of like Legos, which I'm sure I'm going to be getting an annoyed text about that later. But it's kind of like Legos. I actually really like Roblox. I think it's neat that people can like build their own things. I have played it before a few times. Jamie has no idea what Roblox is. What is a roadblocks? It's Roblox. My pronunciation's just bad. I choose to blame it on the fact that English is my second language, but that's not really the problem. The problem is me. It's this game where you play as sort of Lego-like robot men, and you can like create a whole bunch of like mini games and stuff. And now Banky keeps asking the real questions. When are we getting an OnlyFans, Zal? An OnlyFans of you?
I don't know how to answer this question because I don't want to do that. It sounds like a lot of work for very little reward. I do have a coffee, but also no one pays into that, and I'm thinking of shutting that down.
Oh, I didn't know that you have one of those coffee things. You should have told me. You should have sent me that link.
I kind of forgot I had it until now. My memory...
Okay. For a second, I thought that you were just talking about the drink, and I was about to feel really dumb because I also have a Ko-fi. If you don't know what that is, it's a little website that like lets people pay you like really small amounts of money if you're like a writer or a streamer or whatever. It's really useful if you can just get by on like a few dollars and stuff, especially if you like have a full-time job or whatever. I have one. A whole bunch of people I know have one, but we're really bad at advertising ours just because it's such a small thing.
Jamie, I'm not giving away coffee. I mean the website called Ko-fi, or however the heck you say it. I don't know. I say things weirdly. I also murder words because I can.
It's okay. We all have accents.
I'm also monotone, so that doesn't help.
I've been writing full time for almost 2 months now, which is a really weird thing to realize. Not 2 months now, for like a month and a few days. And I've actually gotten like contracts and stuff in the last couple of days, and I've gotten like new jobs, which is super exciting. Writing as a living is a weird way to make a living. Bragg is over here liking to moiter words.
I feel like I'm being made fun of by Drag right now. Also, your story is good. And my story...
I like your story. I know that you're probably going to say it's bad. For those of you who don't know, Zal has a fan fiction. I'm going to let him describe it to you because I think you can describe it better than I can. But I really like it.
I wrote it like 4 years ago. But at the same time, it is an Elder Scrolls and Ruby crossover. Ruby being that show by Rooster Teeth, and it was like the love child of the guy who did fight scenes past season 8 for Red versus Blue. And I have 6 chapters out. Well, technically 7, but actual chapter 7 is coming out whenever I get it going. Because I'm inherently lazy.
I understand that. As a writer, for those of you who don't know, not everyone here does, oh, cool, I'm not the only person whose, like, ears are being, like, randomly butchered by the static. I have headphones in, which makes it worse for me. Like, I can just hear it directly into my brain, and it is... Oof. I'm glad that other people can hear it, because before I wasn't entirely sure. I am going to see if it's something on... I think it's something on my end. I wouldn't be surprised if my microphone is finally starting to die, in which case it's a good thing that I have a Patreon that isn't ready to go yet, but I will be hopefully publishing before the end of the week for people who enjoy my content, whatever form of content that is. I write stories over on websites like Royal Road and Web Novel. I haven't written a chapter in like a full week of either story, which is one of the longest breaks I've taken. But if you like stories that feature like God characters, and if you like isekai stories, those are the sorts of stories that I write because I'm a nerd. Lots of people like them. I also have a Discord. I knew that there was a social media thing that I was forgetting, and I forgot to put my Discord in. God damn it.
I mean, you can always do it. You always do it right now.
Yes. I think I will. I think that I'm just gonna hop in and create an invite, and then I'll just plug it in here. But if you, okay, I hope that like I didn't just accidentally turn off the live stream. I'm pretty sure I didn't, because me and you are still here, so that's good. I don't know if you're in the chat, but if you are and it's still going on, I would appreciate it if you'd let me know.
I'm not in the chat, but I could see the comments going by right now.
Cool. And now for some reason, I'm having the hardest time figuring out how to create an invite on Discord, which has never been an issue. There it is. I swear, today my whole ass brain has just been, like, not working. So that's not good. That's not usually an issue I have. I'm gonna go on to YouTube now. Cool. Stream is still up. I love to see that. Great. There. If you want to join my Discord, where we talk about stories, politics, and memes, feel free. We actually have a pretty lively community, surprisingly. I had a Discord before. A lot of people here know about the old Discord. I had a Discord before that just sort of died. That sort of thing happens. But this one, I've had this one up for like almost the full month and a half now, and it's still going strong. So if you want to join my Discord, you can. But yeah, I'm glad peeps are enjoying the Discord. We have lots of memes and stuff. Surprisingly enough, the meme page is like, I made the meme page mostly as a joke, but the meme page is like where most of our activity is. Also, I love that the static is gone. It sometimes goes and comes back. I can hear it a little bit right now, but like, it's almost completely gone, and you just love to see it. Oh, there it is. I say it, and then it comes back.
I can't hear anything. Probably my end or something. I don't know.
Honestly, I do think it's my microphone, so I'm gonna see if I can get that replaced. But that requires going to Walmart, and I live far away from Walmart, because things that get mailed to me just don't arrive where I live. It's been that way for the last like year that I've lived here, and it's very annoying. It's the one thing I legitimately don't like about my apartment.
That makes sense. Yeah, I've also played games outside of D&D on my channel. Well, two of them are completed. Another time I tried doing like, what's the word? I tried doing like a full playthrough of like all of the different Divine Divinity games, and only Dragon Commander ever got finished for that project. And because barely anyone came to watch the original Sin 1 playthrough, I just gave up. A lot of things I just give up because barely anyone comes to watch. Whatever.
I really don't like Twitch. I feel really bad because like I really like my friends who are on Twitch. Some of my best friends have Twitch accounts and they use them pretty regularly, but I am not a big fan of things that are being live streamed, which is really funny because some of my best content is live streamed. I do solo live streams pretty regularly, or at least I did in my heyday. And like in some cases those would have like 25 viewers at one time. And it's because I'm just like super chill when it comes to live streaming by myself. But now, like, I haven't live streamed in forever. You hate to see it.
Yes.
I'm hoping to get back into live streaming. And I also have a Twitch. My plan was actually to use my Twitch channel to live stream things. And then I don't know how to do that, so I don't.
Zal has a tutorial for you, friend.
I will check it out later.
Well, it's not an actual tutorial. I could just give you a step-by-step guide on how to do that later, if you ask.
What's really funny though is that like one of the only games I actually really feel like doing Twitch for is Star Wars Battlefront 2, the old Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is probably my most played game on Steam of all time.
I never played that game.
It's really fun. I have in my Christmas, I did a Christmas live stream this Christmas, and I talked about a time when I like unwrapped all of my Christmas presents early, and one of them was Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's a good game. If you've never played the original Star Wars Battlefront 2, oh, that's a good game.
So, Shai's talking about a mic, and I guess they see my microphone.
I have a feeling that they're actually talking about my mic, which I am like 90% sure is the source of the static. The next time I do an interview, I might just do like a short test interview just to see how my equipment works. And I might try this without my microphone to see if my computer's ambient mic works well enough and also doesn't produce the static. I used my microphone yesterday when we were in Callan's campaign, and there was no static from it, so it's really annoying that there was static this time. Curse you, microphone.
You know, I only have like 2 Daedric blessings right now.
Yeah.
And one of them is something Bragg knows, because that's his boss that I'm working on. And then there's Mafala's. And people in Chaotic Roll Season 2 know that Zal is highly creative with Daedric artifacts and their blessings. Especially Maroon's Razor. Especially Maroon's Razor.
Drag is very excited. Also, I like how I like how everyone knows about Drag's boss fight, but no one knows about my boss fight, which is also gonna happen.
That'll happen probably when you guys are level 8.
Oh, that's a we didn't hit level 8 in the first season of the Chaotic Roll.
I know, because I really hated level 6 monks. I didn't want to deal with them anymore.
You know what? That's fair. And unfortunately, unless some shenanigans happen very soon, you're also gonna have to deal with a level 6 monk.
I hate them as a class because they get like dodging AoEs, all the fucking attacks, being able to stun at will. It just annoys me to no end.
The real problem was that you started us off at level 1. No, you started us off at level 3, and then the monk didn't come in until we were already level 4. So, because like killing a level 1 monk is probably like one of the easiest things to do in D&D 5th edition. One of the only level 1 characters I've ever had that's died was a monk. And I really liked that monk too. I had a full backstory for him, and GC saw my monk and said, no.
No, no, you died.
All right. I think this has been a super fun interview. It's been about 45 minutes, which is usually the length of time that I like to go for my live streams. I'm definitely gonna have Zal back on my channel in the future. I am also serious about doing Twitch things. I am not plugging my Twitch yet because I want to see what it's like to actually live stream on Twitch, which I have never done before. So that will be an experience. But I hope that everyone checks out Zal's links, which are in the description. If you like me and you're new to this community, I hope you check out my Discord and stuff. And also check out my other links. We are going to go ahead and sign off now, but do you want to say any farewell words, Zal?
I hope everyone has a good time. I'll see you next time this Sunday at Chaotic Roll and possibly earlier. And I hope everyone had a good time at the table.
Bye, everyone.